Aloha Flow Riders, and welcome to another edition of The Flow. I am your host, Doc Rock, along with my other awesome hosts.
Hey everyone, it's Katie.
Yay! Hey everyone, it's Katie.
It's Katie.
Still the best line. It's still the best line in the show. Anyway, gang, today we have us a specially guest to come and talk to you, Ken folks, and it is our homie LD from Shure, aka Laura Davidson, and she has a bunch of cool stuff to talk to you about mics, because that seems to be the number one thing in podcasts. Like, what mic do I want? I got an answer for you. Just use Shure. It's so simple.
There are no other choices, but we're excited because Laura's got all the new mics today too. So get ready to have your mind.
I do.
Some new microphones.
That's me.
LD.
All the new microphones. What's up? It's so great to be here. I love this.
It's
Are
so
you
great to
packed for
have you.
camp yet?
Yeah, I know. I wish you were
Oh.
here in the studio with us, both of you. It's very sad here waiting for camp.
Oh,
Actually,
I know.
funny, yeah. Like this time August last year, we were all three together hanging out in the Boston-Massachusetts.
That's right. We were
It is
prepping for
true.
camp. I found out my cabin. Team Red.
I
Woo,
was sad.
Adrian.
I was sad. I was like,
Team Red.
Paul, what are you doing, Paul? I thought I thought we were friends.
Well, I was kind of a last minute addition to the camper pool. I was going to, I don't know what I was going to do.
We forced Laura to participate. We were like, no, you're going to have to
Yes.
participate.
I know. I was going to be like a floater, and that just didn't sound compelling enough. So now I'm a camper. Yo, look out.
I get those in my eyes sometimes. It's an old man thing.
Floaters. Me too. Getting old, being a golden girl and all.
Yeah, we're all golden
my
girls
God.
today.
Oh my God.
Wow.
All right, LD. So I know the answer to this question because I'm using the same one right now. Hi, everybody. Check out my new microphone. What is popping off in the Shure world?
Well, so we just launched the MV6, which is what is right in front of me and right in front of Doc. I have several mics in front of me, but the MV6 is our latest and greatest USB mic. And we're calling it a gaming microphone, but it can do so much more. And the reason why we are targeting it towards gamers is because it's truly plug and play. And it comes with this awesome stand that you can just set right up and
easy.
start broadcasting in high quality. So it's for live streaming, it's for gaming. And then you have these awesome DSP features. DSP stands for digital signal processing. And you can access that in the Motive Mix app, which allows you to have control over some really cool things. Like you can have auto level mode where it does all the thinking and gain level setting for you, or you can control it yourself in manual mode. And it has a real-time denoiser, which is huge. So I'm just going to demonstrate that. So I would recommend, while you're watching this, grabbing a set of headphones if you don't have them on already, because it's pretty cool, the difference that this makes. So let me just make sure I'm monitoring the right source. And here we go. So my real-time denoiser is on. If I turn it off, you can hear my computer fan. You can hear more of my space. You turn it back on. Silence. Off and on. So it's a big deal because you can keep this microphone up to 18 inches away from your face and it will still pick you up. So I actually have it boosted up right now. There's just so it can have its time in the sun and the spotlight and have some glamour, but it would actually be like this on my desk and you can still hear me that well.
Oh
So
my goodness,
that's
Laura, it's out of the shot. All of the out of the shot
It's
people
out
can
of the
rejoice.
shot.
They can rejoice.
I know all the things Doc and I have screamed at you and beaten into you over these years. Now, if you really have to have it out of the shot, you can with the MV6. I mean,
Yeah.
technically you can with the MV7 Plus too, but that's the point. Because if you're gaming, you're going to be using your hands and you need that physical space between you and the mic.
Mhm.
If you don't want to wear a headset mic. So there's some options there is the moral of that story.
Yeah, I did it
love it.
in my review video, and it works. It just doesn't sound as good. Like you sound like you're in the
yeah.
back seat, and it's not that it sounds horrible. I just want people to understand that there is a phonic difference, and I think that's the
Yes.
thing that's hard for people to understand. When we say it doesn't sound as good, it's because we want it to sound like you're talking to a person who's within person talking distance. A microphone doesn't
Right.
hear that space the same way you do. So 6 inches on the desk, 12 inches on the desk, it might equate to 2 feet away, 6 feet away. You know what I mean? It's not the same as, so
Yeah,
it
it's not
sounds
the
like
same.
you're talking to someone on the other side of the living room. That's what it sounds like. And that's
Yeah, because here's where you want to be, when you're
exactly.
podcasting or you're streaming, but you don't have to be. But there is a digital popper stopper too in this guy. So if I disable it, plosives are
Ooh.
perfectly unpleasant. Plosives are perfectly unpleasant. That's with my popper stopper on. So it just takes that pop of air and uses some digital wizardry through the DSP to eliminate your plosives. So if you are a particularly plosive person, I just
How
coined a
many
new
P's
phrase.
can Laura say in
If
one
you're a
sentence?
triple P,
Yeah.
then the digital popper stopper is for you. But no,
Oh my
it's cool
God.
because this mic is $149. So this is a great microphone if you're starting out and you want the Shure sound, you want ease of use, you want control of the mic. This is a great option for you.
This is also an awesome option, and I've been immediately thinking about this for, co-hosts or guests, or if you are like a podcast producer and you want to be able to send one to, to a big name guest. Like the price point is not awful, and it really is a huge improvement, particularly since it's got all of these kinds of very easy preset digital options. So it's pretty plug and play, which is nice for us people who, even after years of hanging out with Laura, still are like, wait, what do I do with it? So it's great. It's great that it's easy and does all of those things for you without you needing to do a lot of thinking about it. So
exactly.
I'm still laughing at LD's plosive test because mine is always Peter Piper picked peppers and rum rap rhymes. Humpty Dumpty fell down, but this one time Chubby Nibble was nimble, but he was quick. But jam as a cut, as a go. Never mind. Sorry.
That's a lot. I just came up with it the other day when I was making the product video, like the how-to video. I was like, plosives are perfectly unpleasant. Like, and that works,
Perfect.
so
100% true.
that's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah. Yes. Plosive prone people should use the popper stopper. So that's the MV6.
So this is the MV6.
Sorry, go ahead.
And
yes.
Is there anything, I guess as people are trying to do comparison shopping. So if you have an MV7 already and it's an older MV7. So I have an older MV7. I don't have the MV7 Plus. And I need a mic for my co-host for my show. So should I do MV6? Should I how does the MV6 stack up against the MV7 and the MV7 Plus, I guess is my question.
Well, I mean, they are both wonderful USB mics. The differences are that the MV7 Plus has an XLR output as well as a USB-C output for the Plus. And you also have reverb. That's an additional option within the DSP on the MV7 Plus. And you have the cool customizable LED light ring, because I'll switch over to this too. So now you're hearing my MV7 Plus, and they are similar capsules, but different. They're not the same. So you're also getting another step up there, hence the step up in price. So that's kind of the idea there. And it's also meant to be used on a boom arm like this. If you're to mount your MV6 on a boom arm, it would be upside down. There's ways to do it, but just if you're wanting to keep that in mind. But, two great options. So it's just more control, more input outputs, and the cool LED comparison there. So that's the main differences.
Thanks.
Yeah, I think so. For people who might be trying to figure this out at home, there is a difference in the capsule, and basically that's the part. And if you take the crown off of a microphone, in the microphone you see that little circle thing with the two wires coming out. There's a piece that goes up and down, and when you talk, that moves back and forth, just like a speaker. It's the opposite of a speaker. Fun fact.
It is.
Timberland, if you plug in a headphone into a microphone jack and you go, this is Timberland, you understand, Missy Elliott, that's what he's doing. He's talking to the headphone because it's the same thing in a sense, right? So they're built off the same body, but the components inside is what elevates capsules. Some microphones, like you might see in a concert, let me go ahead and channel my Mary Lou right now, like Taylor Swift. She has the same mic, but she changes capsules per venue because some venues sound phonically different from the other. The handle's the same, but you're just swapping out capsule. So the Shure that I have on the floor down here, this microphone can have different capsules. Right, so this one.
No,
right
well,
here,
not that one.
no,
that
the
one is
sorry,
that's a
not the
wired mic.
KSM.
But if you get
KSM.
a wireless variant, you can have a
Yeah.
Nexodyne
Then you
capsule
can have-
on it.
There
Yes.
you go. I was thinking of KSM.
Spreading fake
But-
news. Jeez Louise, man. Yes.
But
Like,
this
what?
one
I could
is-
buy that mic and switch it? No.
No,
cannot.
you can't buy this one because this one has my face on it.
Right.
Do not listen to
That one's
Doc. Only
extra
listen
special.
to Laura on today's episode. No, just kidding. Yeah, I think that's helpful because I think I'm approaching it as this is a great like baseline. The MV6 is a great baseline microphone for like getting started, or if you're not quite ready yet to invest in one of the higher level microphones, or if you're sending it out to a guest that doesn't have any kind of microphone or bought some super cheap thing off of Amazon. Like, this is definitely a much, much better option. And I love that it comes already with a stand. It's got, everything ready to go. So it's really super easy from a plug and play standpoint. So everyone who's always
Well,
just like,
and
my
fun-
guest
fun
doesn't have a
fact.
good mic, this is the answer.
Well, fun fact too is that it also is a dynamic microphone, which is super important. If you've been watching any of our content before, dynamic microphones naturally help reduce the plosives and the room noise and the reverberation in your space. So that's why we recommend the MV7 or the MV7 Plus or an SM7B or an SM7DB. And now the MV6 gives you an even more affordable dynamic microphone solution to use. And it's MFI certified, which Doc was the one who kindly reminded me of that feature when he posted his reel last week on launch day. And I was like, oh my gosh, it is made for iPhone. That's what MFI stands for.
Made for iPhone. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty cool that you can use it for that as well, plugged directly in. It has a USB-C cable that it comes with. It has this awesome gator stand and tabletop with a little green pop.
Yeah, you're gonna look super professional. Level it up.
Right? But I mean, I am kind of obsessed with this grill. I'm not gonna lie. And Doc even mentioned too on his video that like this whole thing is metal. It's not just like nothing on here is plastic except components within your diaphragm and the microphone.
This is not a cheap mic. Like, it is an affordable
It is not.
mic, but it is not a cheap mic, it's important for us to all understand the difference.
Yes. Everything we make goes through very rigorous quality standards, which
Yes, it
Doc
does.
got to see in real life at our headquarters in Niles. So we put this through that same torture test. So yes, it is built to last, but at a really nice price point. Oh, and it has a tap to mute function right on the top of the mic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now
very
again,
handy.
I want to point out the reason why we always recommend a dynamic microphone for this particular case is because it does the best job of rejecting the unnecessary noises that are going to be coming from your room, right?
Right.
And a lot of people get really, really stuck on the dynamic condenser, and they don't really understand why. Most cases, in a situation where you're talking on a microphone that's going to be somewhere, you're going to want a condenser. A dynamic, but can you use a condenser? Absolutely. You just got to have a better space. So as LD shows you off the brand new SM4, then that's a condenser.
Yeah. That's a condenser. And let's switch it over to that guy or gal. And you'll notice if you're listening with headphones that I sound phenomenal, but I also have some more room noise and fan noise. My laptop basically sounds like it's about to combust at any given moment when I'm using it. So I have to have that denoiser and I have to have a dynamic microphone because you can even hear more. But it also rejects, as you heard. Bye-bye. You can't really hear me. But you can hear more of the room and the fan. So if I switch back over to my MV7 Plus, now you're hearing less of the room, more of me. And if I switch to my MV6, now you're hearing more of the natural reverberation of the space, but I still sound pretty dang good. So that's the fun demo of all three put together.
It is impressive that like you can hear the difference, but they do all sound good though. These are difficult decisions for some of us in the podcasting space where you do have to weigh out your space, your needs, your budget, what works best, but
your aesthetic.
Awesome. Your aesthetic, yeah.
Yes.
Well, I think a good thing to know too is that Shure has an overall personality when it comes to sound, right? Some capsules are designed to just try to reach everybody, which is kind of a bad look because that's a very hard nut to crack. So there's been executive decisions made as to where to put this microphone in and to get the best sound out of it for the broad scape of people, but without trying to be like, oh, this fits everybody. Every mic that I've ever heard that says it's designed for everybody normally sounds a little weird. And so, like,
well, I mean, one size fits all it never really works out well for anybody. So
it totally never fits me.
I'm just saying, we're not wearing the same size, Doc. Like that's just fact. So it's the same thing with microphones.
Correct.
You gotta try it. And some people love the sound. Some people don't. Some people, you just gotta try.
You showed something that was very important too. And when you're on the SM4, I watch this happen all the time with podcasters. They address the mic completely wrong.
Yes.
I had a situation recently where somebody was complaining about the way Ecamm was making them sound. And when I get the clip, they're addressing the wrong side of the mic. And I was like, this is a little weird. Try something. Turn your mic around. And then it turned now send the test again. And then like, oh, it sounds perfectly fine. And they're like, oh, wow, what did you do? And I'm like, oh, nothing. Must have been a glitch on our end. Like, it's an easier explanation, and that was a common problem with the snowman is that people often addressed it wrong.
Yep.
So tell us a little bit more.
That's a very good point.
Tell us a little bit more about that one because that's the other new one, right? The SM4.
Yeah. So SM4. Woo, coming up
so
close,
cute.
Sonia. This is where you address the mic, where the logo is. That's a dead giveaway. This is the front of the mic, the side, and the back. We don't talk into the top. This is a side address condenser. That's what we call it. And so the SM4 comes in two variants. One that has this very cool shock mount and pop filter, magnetic pop filter.
Hey, Louise, can you make Laura full screen so we can just see everything she's demoing?
Oh gosh, everything. It's a lot.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. There we go. Go ahead. Sorry, show us that.
A lot.
Show us that again.
So here you go. So here's the SM4 and that's the magnetic pop filter and it comes with that variant or it comes in just a standard clip variant, which could be used for overheads or on a guitar cabinet if you don't need the pop filter. The pop filter is great for vocals. But it also has dual diaphragm technology, which is kind of like our dual dyne tech that comes in our KSM8 microphone. The dual diaphragm, so the two that are in here are actually allowing plosive blocking just from this microphone itself before you even use the pop filter. So if I switch this guy on. Ugh. Okay, so let me monitor over here. So I'm doing this all in mode of mix in case you're wondering how I'm switching my sources so easily. That's how. So in mode of mix, I've switched it over to my SM4 running through my MVX2U interface. Plosives are perfectly unpleasant. It's pretty darn crazy how good that is. Plosives are perfectly unpleasant. So, I loved this microphone for that because I am a triple P. I have a lot of plosives in my life. So that's the SM4. What is this microphone great for? This microphone is great if you are recording vocals, music, instruments, or spoken voice. I mean, because it sounds incredible on podcasting and live streaming. It's just, you have to make sure you're using it in an environment that lends itself to a condenser mic. So like Doc and I have been talking about forever, if you're going to be using a condenser, you better have some treatment. in your space.
Yeah. And so say I'm a podcaster and my space is pretty well treated and this is the mic that I want to grab, is how necessary and what is the, I guess, difference in cost to add that magnetic pop filter on? Like, because you just showed the difference and you can definitely hear a difference, but it's pretty close actually. Like, so is it, it super important or is it more relevant for musicians and
for singers who are wanting to use it? Like that's the biggest thing. I always recommend using a pop filter because it just gives you that other kind of peace of mind so that you're not focusing on your technique and pulling off of the mic as much if you have that on there. Mm-hmm. And so the shock mount too just helps you in case you bump it accidentally, you really have the opportunity to just be a little bit more free, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So that I'd just say, if you want to go with the regular one, it's $199, and then the studio kit is what it's called, is $269, and that comes with this awesome case, which is behind me, of course, on the floor. But you can pack it all up together, and it comes with the shock mount and the magnetic pop filter.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, that's also fairly affordable. That's not, in my mind, I was like, oh, it's going to be way more expensive than that. So that's awesome to hear.
This is going to sound really crazy, but another important thing about pop filters is, in a way, it will lend to the durability of your mic because it also blocks moisture. Right. And then if you happen to be in a situation where you have to use multiple mics, multiple people on the same mics, then the advantage of having a pop filter is you can just swap them out so you know which one is yours.
Oh, look at that.
You're not catching this. So yeah, pop filters are so important. I made some. How about that?
Yes. Make it less
easy to understand.
Yeah.
With the SM4, it has this really cool feature too that blocks RF interference, which if you're using any sort of monitor screen that makes your microphone hum, if you're holding your phone behind your mic, like I always do to hold my lyrics when I'm tracking vocals, it will prevent that. It has this cool caging, shielding technology that's built into the mic. So just another cool feature that sets it apart.
That's really awesome. Like that.
Yeah.
You see so many people with the lyrics on the stand with the phone or the iPad right next to it. It's such a move now. Yep. It's almost a flex.
It's a flex. Yeah. Yeah. They have their you can't see
very
that,
fancy.
You get the idea.
Very fancy.
Yes. Yes.
We need to remind
people I know.
Go ahead, Laura.
Sorry, go ahead.
Over to you. I was going to say is we need to remind people about the Motive Mix app too. So I know we have that ready to go because I feel like everyone needs to remember of the powerfulness of this app. It's pretty incredible.
Yeah.
Doc's going to share his.
Yeah, I have mine set up now. But the Motive Mix shines for a couple different reasons. Number one, if I click here and I pull up my MV6, there's a little gearbox thing, and then I don't want to do the routing. I just want to do there we go.
Yeah.
So I can go in, I can adjust the gain. Mine does have auto level, but for this particular show, I can move the gain up and down, and that's like really loud. And, I'm normally at about 22 and some change. But you can do auto level if you know nothing and I don't want to press any buttons and I just want it to be, sauce, you can go ahead and press auto level. Some other cool things that I have in here is the ability to adjust my headphone. This messes people up. A lot of people are adjusting their microphone based off of what they think it sounds like in their headphone. And I'm like, that doesn't necessarily mean the same as the output, because you could have the mic level in your ear down and the playback level up. So you want to kind of like do some test records and listen back, make sure you're good. You have some sort of light compression and I'll call it prettyfying. Dark
tone. Yes,
natural,
we call it tone, but
high.
Prettyfying, that works.
Prettyfying. So if I go bright, it sounds really weird to me on my voice. Maybe it sounds better for you guys. To me, it sounds weird on my voice.
It's a little thin,
but
my
for your
hearing
is also
instrument.
old. So I like mine in the darker side. You know what it is. And then
Doc is all the way dark side all the time.
Yes.
Dark side all the time.
Normally you have a real-time denoiser going on, but my microphone was built before the rest of the MV6s, so it's different.
He's special.
I have a cute version. And then, of course, the popper stopper you've already heard. And I don't use a high-pass filter. My bass is bass, and that's part of my style, so I don't particularly
You
use
can enable your
filter.
high pass. It will alleviate any handling noise a little bit. It'll make it a little more better for you.
All right. So, normally I leave those off because I'm just trying to let that bass shine because, bass.
You're all about that bass. I hear you.
I'm all about it. So, I mean, simple stuff. But the one thing in the Motive Mix app that I want to show people that is like absolutely clutch, right? Let's say I wanted to bring on another sound. So I could take in the Rodecaster Duo Chat because that's where my SM7B is. And now if I were to select that as the channel in this guest mode, you would actually be hearing both microphones because they're both working together at this particular point. Also, if I had another mic here I want to bring in or a software that has a virtual mix, I could bring that in and you can sort of like drag and drop sources. So, I mean, yo, gang, this is like a free app in order to help you understand better how your sound is flowing through your computer. My absolute
couple cool things because I can't show my Motive Mix app today because my computer, like I said, is on the verge of spontaneously combusting. But that top right button, sound check.
I was going to show. This is my favorite feature.
Is so cool. So if you have guests, if you have audio that you're bringing into your stream, if you have multiple sources, it'll show everybody up there. Right now, Doc just has one. And then you would click start. It gives you a 3-second countdown. You record a little bit of audio. You can play it back and it will tell you what you need to do. And it will do it for you in terms of your gain and your level setting.
Magic.
So then, there you go. And then once you've sound checked and you're back into the Motive Mix side, you can also record. So that bottom right button says start recording. You get a 3-second countdown. You have the ability to decide if you want it to combine all of your channels into one or spit it out as separate stems, which you can then enter in your DAW, which is super handy as a redundant recording or as your main recording. It'll record up to 8 hours.
Wow.
But, also cool is that when you first open your Motive Mix app, if you have no idea what you're doing with routing, it has a setup wizard. So it'll say, what are you using? It'll show you all your available sources. You don't even have to go find them. It just shows you what's plugged in that could be perceived as an audio source. And then it walks you through a little setup wizard. And then here you are, all your sources are on the left. You can either click and drag as Doc did, or you can just click on it and it adds it as a source. And then you have complete control, and then you can route your output on the far right and your monitor as well. So your main output as well as a monitor mix.
It's
pretty powerful.
It's pretty cool. Now, if you're using something like the MV7, MV7 Plus, and this guy, even the what was the other? My brain just went dumb. Please, Doc. Move mic. Like if I plug in the Move mic receiver, it's all going to work, and you'll be able to mix these channels together. And what's cool about the MV mics is any settings that you adjust in here stay in here. So
that's
in other words, it gets written to the microphone. So if I pick this microphone up after I make it blessed and I'll plug it into my iPhone, it's going to still sound good, right? Now, let's say you're going to a friend's house to eat and the food just ain't no good. I mean, the macaroni soggy, the peas are mush. No, you can take your phone and open up your Motive Mix app on your phone. You can adjust settings with that on the microphone, then unplug it and plug it into your friend's computer. And again, you've made adjustments on your mic without having to put the app on your friend's computer.
Yes. Well, Motive Mix is a desktop app. We do have to make that caveat.
Motive Audio.
But Motive Audio and Motive Video are mobile apps. And yes, you can configure the MV88 Plus, the MV7, the MV7 Plus, the MV6, MVX2U. Who am I forgetting?
All of
and Move
MV
Mic.
Homies.
Yeah. Move Mic, not quite the same, but that's where you actually can pair your Move Mics directly to your phone. 2 channels of wireless lavalier audio paired directly to your phone with no receiver. I got to say that like a million times because people just don't get it. And then they're like, wait. I don't need yes, 2 microphones, no wires, direct to your phone for your streams, content, etc. Yes.
It's pretty classic.
It is
and
crazy.
Again, I just added, for someone who's watching at home, I just added the MV7 Plus. And again, if I was to go into my device settings, you'll see
nice.
She mentioned that there's the reverb that's built in, so it's a little bit different there.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have the ability to adjust the LEDs to a solid color, and then sort of select whichever color that I wish. Or you can have pulsing. I like ignition green. I won't sing that song because that dude's a troublemaker.
What? Ignition green. Okay.
No, I was going to sing the ignition song, but that guy's a troublemaker. He's from Chicago.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Oh, they're going to make me really sad that I just have my now boring plain MV7. I'm like, I have no lights.
Hey, you have a custom MV7, young lady,
true.
so
That
don't
is
be
correct.
throwing shade at that.
That
That's
is
true.
correct.
Which is
But
why I
here's the
don't want to
reverb.
update
Can you
it,
guys,
but I like
can you
the
guys
lights.
hear the reverb on my
Oh,
MV7 Plus
Ooh.
right now?
Wow.
Can turn it up a little bit? Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's nice. So that's my studio, and that's my hall. So I'm in the cathedral now. Ave Maria. Yeah, anyway, you can
Wow.
do that.
Y'all didn't know y'all was going to get a little LD singing, though.
That's
Take
crazy.
that.
That was not LD singing right there. That was not. But no, but you can customize your LED too, which Doc mentioned, which is kind of cool if you have branding or you want to have just something fun to make it stand out. If you're in a darker space, like Doc is in, it would really pop. Mine's a little bright for my LEDs to shine. But yeah, they're great.
And
That
you
is
mentioned
so
this here, Luis, if you go to our 3, please. You mentioned this, and Jeremy talked about it in the chat, but this is one of my favorite things to tote around. This is the MVX2U, and if you already have a microphone, XLR microphone, and you want to get some of that cool MV swag, you can plug this into the bottom of it.
MV swag. Yes.
That's why they don't let me in your naming department. We'd be a whole
No, you are not hired for that. Yeah. This is what's plugging my SM4 or powering my SM4. And it will power my SM7B. It has plenty of gain and headroom for that.
So I travel with this one. I keep it in my little bag because you never know when you're going to need to plug in the mic to a computer. And so you can take basically any XLR mic and just pop it in there, and then you're good to go. And this also works with the phone. So if you ever need to record something on the phone and you have an XLR, just have this around. It's not too heavy. It's not too big. You just I carry it around in my bag. So Jeremy is correct.
We have no excuses anymore, everyone. That's all I'm hearing this entire episode. there is an easy built-in answer for everything. There are wizards. there are magical tools that are going to auto everything for you. You have no excuses.
Right.
That's sort of the true nature of the game. Is you're right. All the excuses are out the window. Yeah. I just think, to me, the biggest win with the MV6 was, I think a lot of people were scared that if they were going to look at a Shure mic, it was going to cost them an arm and a leg. Mm-hmm. And then most of the stuff that's out there in the quote unquote beginning category is a little too beginner. Like, it's almost causing more problem because beginners aren't going to know how to set their gain properly, or they're not going to know how to deal with closers properly. So Shure was like, how do we make it beginner friendly, but then also phonically solve the problems that make people feel inadequate about their microphone?
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That's the win. That is the absolute win. So for $150, not only do you get an amazing beginner mic, but you will sound pretty close to someone who's come in at, say, $250, $279, and still beautiful. You don't have to be an audio engineer. It's relatively incredible. Works with your iPhone, so you can record your TikToks and your shorts and your Instagrams. And if all you want to do is show up cute in Zoom, boom, get an MV6, hit me up, get a little a cap for it so you make it cute, and then.
There's also it's nice that you don't need anything else. Like, when I was buying the MV7, for example, it's like you need to think through, an arm or a stand, or you need to be kind of considering all these other things. If you're going to use it with XLR, you're going to need a mixer. So it's nice that it's powerful and it has the quality that you need, and it has, as Doc said, all those like easy automation. So it really is like ready to go, but it even comes on a stand. It looks cute. You're just literally out of the box and you're ready to go. There's nothing else you need to think about. You don't need to think about anything else.
We forgot one more very important feature. So
what?
I don't have any because I'm smart, but let's just say you have bad children and they come in the room.
I was going to say, I probably do now that you said because you're smart.
Oh boy.
You can just go like that, right? So the mute button is, and it doesn't require a lot of pressing. You just slightly tap it. So it's very handy if you need the mute because you got allergies or you need to yell at little Mikey them. You can just click it and be like, don't make me pull this podcast over and come back there.
That's right. That's right. We have all said that.
Overtly, I don't have my MV7 in front of me, but I like that that's a much more kind of
right
obvious mute button. The MV7 that I have I have encountered a couple cases where it's like a little bit more subtle because it's kind of designed a little bit prettier and cuter. And I've definitely bumped out mine and been like, what's going on? I'm like, oh, I'm on mute. So I like that this is like a very obvious button.
On my MV7 Plus, I've disabled it because I keep hitting it because I often hold the microphone like that.
I had to do the same thing.
I had to disable mine.
Exactly. So,
that's it.
See, it's like real cute, which is great, but it gets bumped more easily. So I do like that the MV6 is definitely
that's my
like
custom.
An obvious.
I do still love my custom MV7.
It is so cute.
But it's a matter of what you want. But on MV7 Plus, now the top is your mute. The whole LED is a cap touch panel. And on the MV7.6, you don't push it at all. You just tap it. So it's not a pushable button. So please don't push it because that would, people be like, you're like, no, you don't. Just tap-a-roo. Yep. Happy Gilmore it.
I can't wait to see what happens when Colorware gets a hold of the MV6 and start making them all kinds of weird colors because it matches what that not the genre, that target audience is gamers, right? And they all like custom oriented stuff. So when they get a hold of this sucker and start painting it all myriad colors, it's so
I know.
Good. Actually, it's relatively simple. I could probably take mine to the office.
Oh, you're going to start doing custom jobs now? In addition to Doc Ops, Doc will bedazzle your microphone for you.
That's really missing some rhinestones.
Oh my God.
Doesn't this look so
You have got
cool?
to get some Swarovskis and go to town on it.
Well, I actually work with this amazing woman named Jen, and she does that. She's our AR manager. Okay, so artist relations. And the bedazzled microphones, I don't want to call it that because it's not bedazzled. Like she is hand placing Swarovski crystals on these things. She is a genius. She's brilliant and she's crafty. So crafty. That is.
Sorry, you cannot musical direct me like
if
that.
you're Doja Cat level, like maybe Jen will make one for you. But so it's
goals. We're gonna work our way up to knowing Jen.
I just think of Jen and the holograms.
Oh, Gem and the holograms. That's my life goal. I would like to be Gem.
I love that show. Gem is my name. No one else is the same. Gem is my name. Gem. Yeah.
I'll be right back. I now have some new afternoon goals going on.
Yes.
Yo, Luis, we are so clipping that and putting that on the Instagram for it.
No.
Welcome to the flow.
Then I'll get sued. I'm gonna get sued for copyright infringement.
It's a pretty quick clip. I think we might be okay.
I don't know. That was my childhood, yo.
Same.
Man. What'd she do? She touched the earring and then it was she turned into a rock star.
Yeah. I have those earrings, but they don't work. You're just constantly touching them. They don't do what they're supposed to do. Well, I am being the time monitor for today's show. So we are getting close to wrapping up here. So if you have any questions and you're hanging out with us in the live chat, drop those in. But I think we covered, I think we killed it. Is there anything else that we are missing?
I think we crushed it.
I think we crushed it.
mean,
else that people
is
need
there really
to know?
anything else to do today? I'll see you later.
If you are coming to, I will say, if you are coming to Creator Camp, which is crazily like a month away, just about only about a month away. Laura's going to be
attack for
on
Katie.
site with all of these glorious devices, so you'll be able to push the mute buttons. The non-real, the touch the mute buttons.
Tap, touch the touch buttons.
Tap them,
touch
them, and
I don't
untap
even
them,
know.
and
At
ask
Beers
all your
and Gears.
questions at Beers and Gears. So get excited about that if you're heading out in real life. But if you are not at camp, that's why we did this whole episode, so that you can be able to see everything in the podcasting video space. If you can't be in the real space with us.
It's honestly one of the. Okay, so I just got to give you a quick story. We're sitting in this room, and then Mario and LD are like, okay, we're going to show you guys something, and you can't talk about it. It's going to be secret squirrel, but we just want to get your thoughts on this real quick. And he goes in the back, he squares away like a little squirrel, and he comes back with his box, and then he pulls out. And there was a gasp in the room. Every single one of us was like, yo, this is going to absolutely crush. So we were quickly over, like, making little testings. Kurt and I are, like, talking into it and putting our headphones on and, like, trying to hear, like, how it sounds. And it was like, this is going to be the entry level. And they're like, yeah. And it's like, no way. Nobody treats their entry-level microphones like this. And then, Mario's over there acting like he made it. But, he's like, I was like, no, listen. But
he was not.
The nerds in the back who actually made it, they were so proud to hear how much we liked it. And I just got to say, it's a very, very impressive microphone for what it is. And it doesn't, let me fix that. It doesn't even deserve the disclaimer or the qualifier. It is an amazing
the microphone of what it is. Yeah, it's an amazing microphone. Yes.
Period. 100%.
And you're hearing it. You're hearing the MV6 right now from me and from Doc.
So don't feel like some type of way because you have to get this. I think you can get this and live with it for years. You might not never need to.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So
this isn't going to be the buy it once or the buy it twice, thrice thing that we always talk about. Like I know we're always saying invest in yourself, and I still believe in that. I mean, if you can go for this beauty and get yourself an SM7 DB, hey, do it. Start right out of the gate and do that because you're going to be very happy with it. But if you're ready to jump in and you don't want to spend a ton of money, we have really great options. And the MV6 just rounds that out even more. So, that's that story.
And again, to me, it's I started my video out with this. Fam, like, you know what you're getting. You're not getting some random, brand from some random store somewhere. You have 99 and a half years worth of knowing what the heck we doing. That's what makes it shine. You know what I mean? Like, it's almost
1925.
Hey,
that's not. Oh, shots fired.
All right. Well, end time. Laura, thanks so much for hanging out with us today and for always bringing the coolest things to talk about. I feel like I learn something every time you hang out with us. So I'm excited for camp.
Thank you.
And I'm sorry to everyone that won't be there in person, but we promise we'll share some behind the scenes. Keep all those questions coming. We can make sure that we get the answers back if you're watching this later or if you're listening. You can always email us at flow@ecamm.com. Take it away, Doc.
I'm laughing at Paul's remote mute option. And if you also looking for a cool host to host your show, this is hosted by Captivate. We'd like to thank Captivate for hooking us up. This is one of my favorite hosting platforms because it starts out with growth in mind. So if you're starting a podcast and you want to find that audience, there's unique tools in there. It's like a creative suite of tools designed to help you grow a podcast. And you can find out more at captivate.fm. And yeah, you know what? And I don't know if Luis made a sign for this yet, but I want to give a shout out to Scenery because Scenery has been an absolute blast and they've been working with us. We're dragging Liza to camp so she gets to hang out with us. But talking about an editor for people who hate to edit, Scenery is your move. If you I hate editing video, you need to check out Scenery, which is Scenery.
I need to check that out.
You need to check it out. And
I could teach.
Since you mentioned it, Doc, we should actually also say we were going to hold this to tomorrow in the Q&A, but we can say this at the end of this episode as well, that Scenery actually just launched their new AI Shorts feature. So if you really want to be able to have, dynamic, engaging, interesting short clips that you can share across Instagram and YouTube and TikTok and, anywhere else, they do it. I think theirs is really absolutely incredible. And then it's backed with all of their other incredible editing tools. So they make editing really,
That's what
really
makes
easy.
it shine.
And now you can get the shorts as well. So keep an eye out for that if you're already a Scenery person.
It shines because once it chops up your file, it chops up your file, but it's already an editor. So it's not like you have to go in there and make edits that, there's not a real editor. It's a real editor first that chops your files. So it's very easy to make minor tweaks. It is beautiful. It is beautiful.
It is beautiful. Well, we did it. Look at us. And we're on time.
Us.
I win.
Yes. We started not on time, but that was my fault.
But that's okay. But we rounded it off for being on time at the end.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, you need to say our flow riders. You need to say our flow riders out. You need to say it, Doc. You say it the best.
All right, people. You know what time it is. Another flow show is in the books. So flow riders out.
Out. Bye, everyone.